Click the subscribe button and press the bell icon to never miss a video from Josh Talks.
Thank you everyone. So around 3 years ago today, I was sitting by myself in an empty hotel room trying to read the balance sheets and profit forecasts of some telco company. And I say trying to read because it was in size 6 font that I could barely understand. And today I now lead Filtercopy Video, which is one of the largest digital platforms in India. My name is Aditya, and you've probably not heard of me, but chances are you've seen one of the many viral videos that I've produced on your Facebook and YouTube feeds. So I went from being an investment banker to creating online popular videos, working with the likes of Akshay Kumar, Sonakshi Sinha, Ayushmann Khurrana, with a couple of detours along the way. But I made that shift in the space of just 3 years. And in that time, there are 3 really important things that I learned that I want to share with you guys today. So when I was in school and I was trying to decide what subjects to take for 11th and 12th, I took all the subjects that would let me do engineering. Why? Because my dad was an engineer, my brother was an engineer. So naturally, I assumed that I also have to do engineering. It's the natural order of things. And anyway, so I did that. And in my first 11th standard physics class, I vividly remember that we studied mechanics. And that's all I remember because everything else just went way over my head. I couldn't understand a thing. And that's when I said to myself that humse na ho payega engineering. This is not happening. So I thought, okay, what do I do instead? Again, I looked to my family, and at that time, my brother had finished his engineering and become an investment banker. So I thought, okay, wo bhi kar lete hum. That sounds interesting, banking, finance, money. So I ended up in the US, in New York, to study finance and become an investment banker. And that was happening, everything was going on. And suddenly I realized, after I got to New York, that hang on, the school that I'm studying at, apart from being really good for finance, also has the #1 film program in the country and probably the world. And I thought, okay, let's see what this is all about. So I went there and I found out that they had a course where you could do a program in film and TV production. But at the same time, I can still finish my degree in finance and all of that. So I thought, okay, this is like really interesting. I know nothing about film production or TV or any of that, but this is not an opportunity that you'll get very often. I also honestly thought it'll probably help me make my resume look good for placements when I apply for banking jobs and all of that, because they'll think, oh, look at this guy, he's so different, he's so out of the box. That didn't happen. But so I started doing that with that mindset, right? Let's do this, it'll be fun. But it turns out that those classes were actually the ones that I found the most exciting and engaging. And that was when the seed of thought first came in my mind that, okay, this creative media industry is something that I might be interested in doing. But how do you actually do that? I found it hard to imagine myself actually working in film or in media because, one, I had never been exposed to that industry, so I didn't even know what jobs are there, what job could I do. And the other thing is also I had spent all these 4 years doing my degree in finance and business, and it's not like I was bad at that or that I didn't like that. So I was basically grappling with these things and I couldn't crack it basically. So I decided to join investment banking, as was the plan. And I did banking and then management consulting for 2 or 3 years. I was all set to go do my MBA after that. But throughout this time, there was something missing, like that little itch of wanting to do something creative never fully went away. And so I thought, okay, I'm doing my MBA anyway. And once I got admission to my MBA, I said, let me take some time off, come to Bombay and just work somewhere and just understand what this industry is about. And so I landed up at Filtercopy. I joined as an intern in the production team for 6 months. And before I knew it, all of a sudden, out of the blue, they asked me if I wanted to lead the entire channel. So the point of all of this is that it's important to have a plan, but don't be afraid to change that plan, and don't panic if the plan changes. Now, if I imagine myself, if I'm driving and I need to go somewhere, right? At the start of the trip, I'll say, okay, I need to go to this place, I'll take this road. Now, along the way, I may say, okay, this road has a lot of traffic, let me take a different road instead. When I go to that road, I may see something, a restaurant or a place, And I said, hey, someone told me about this and they said it was good. Let me check it out on my way. And then in the end, I may say, okay, you know what? The place I was originally going to, I don't want to go there anymore. Let me go somewhere else instead because I think I'll have a better time there. Now, if I rewind to the start of that trip and I don't know where I'm going, the chances are I'm just going to get lost and I'll end up going around in circles. People might say, go here, go there, but I'll never really be fully convinced that I should do that or why someone is telling me that. So people ask me, do you feel like you wasted so much time doing banking consulting? Why didn't you directly go to media? But I disagree with that because I think if I hadn't gone through that whole process and learned about myself and had this, this safety net of the MBA, I would probably not have had the courage to come and even do that. Once I came here, it all worked out for me great. But if I had just come here right after college without any money, any job, nothing, I would have probably just been swept away and not had a clue what to do. So that is the first really important lesson, to always have a plan, but be prepared for it to change. So the second important lesson that I learned is, now if you know you're good at something, work on that and make sure you're the best of it. Make sure that you're the best at it. So I want to use a cricket example here. Everyone watches cricket, follows cricket? So I assume most of you will know Sourav Ganguly. So Sourav Ganguly, one of the best batsmen of his generation, but he had a very clear weakness against the short ball, short pitch bowling. Now, he can either work on his technique and his ducking and all of that, but after doing that, all he'll do is make sure that he doesn't get out. But if he works on his cover drive, he can become the best in the world in that particular area. And that's why he's given the nickname God of the Offside. Because that's what he built his career on. That's what sets him apart. And this is a very common thing. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses. And in my experience, strengths and weaknesses are innate. They're within you. You can't do that much to change them. You can obviously work on them, but when you work on it, you will only get to a certain level on your weaknesses. Whereas with your strengths, because it's something you're already good at, you can go very far. So coming back to me, I knew that script writing and direction is something that I was not very good at. And there are hundreds of other screenwriters and directors, many of whom would have graduated from right here at Whistling Woods, who are much better than me. And no matter how much work I put in, I will not be at their level. But when I came to Filter Copy, my founders actually helped me realize that I don't need to be strong in that to make content. My strength is my business understanding and my analytical thinking. And they said to me that, look, you've been in consulting, you've been in banking, you understand how businesses work, you understand how to look at data to make decisions, and you're naturally interested in content. So here, Filter Copy Video is your business now. Look at the data, understand the business, understand the audience, and figure out what is the right content strategy. You have a team of really talented writers and directors who will go and make the content. Give them basically the platform and the strategy for them to create even better content and to help this company grow. Now, when they said that, I thought, that's true. Why didn't I think of that? And that is pretty much now what I've been doing in the last 6 to 8 months, right? Filter Copy Video in that time has grown from 50 million views to 100 million views every month. We used to do maybe 3 or 4 videos a month. We're doing close to 10 now. And all of that has just been through applying myself at what I'm good at. And I realized that there's no point in me trying to do something I'm not good at because there's always going to be someone better than me. I'd rather just be the best at what I know I'm good at. Now, the third lesson that I want to share is that it's important to have a job and to work hard, but it's just as important to have a life. Now at Filter Copy, I regularly interview candidates who are interested in joining Filter Copy or joining Pocket Aces, which is our parent company. And a lot of times, I will ask them, what do you do outside of work for fun? What are your hobbies? And they will look at me and they'll say, oh, actually, sir, I don't have any time to do anything because work is so busy. And now I've been in investment banking and consulting where I was often working 16, 17-hour days plus weekends, and I still managed to find time. So I don't know if they're saying that to impress me, to show, look, I'm a hard worker, but to me, that just seems like you're being lazy. And I found that having a balanced life and having that a wide variety of experiences, works is important for two reasons. One is that it actually helps you learn a lot more about other people. And in a business like this, where I'm managing a team and constantly working with people, it's important to understand people's motivations and why they want to do something. And that's what gives you the best results and the best outcome. And especially now for Filter Copy, if I'm creating content that's being watched by millions of people, they're all going to be very different from me. So I need to interact more with other people. And the best way for me to do that has been by doing things like playing football or doing theater or traveling, meeting new people, right? So that's something that will always serve you well. And the other thing is also that it teaches you not just about other people, but it teaches you about yourself. Now, 2 years ago, I was in China for a training program, and they asked me to introspect and think about all the things I've done in life, not just work and education, everything, and think about what makes me happy. And I thought about it and I said, actually, the thing that really makes me happy is being around people. And I found this really surprising because if you meet me normally, I'm a very soft-spoken and introverted person. But I realized if I looked at all the things I've done, I play a lot of sports, but I gave up cricket and tennis within a couple of years because it was very individual-centric. But I still play football today. I used to do guitar and piano classes, but after a while I would just stop practicing because I'd rather be out doing something else. Whereas theater I really enjoyed because it was being around people. And I figured out that it's because being naturally introverted, I can't necessarily generate that same amount of energy just by myself. But when I'm around other people, I can feed off their energy and therefore perform at a better level myself. And over all of these different experiences, one thing I've kind of learned is that there's only so much that you can learn in an office or in a classroom. You can only really grow as a person and learn more by just having a whole variety of different experiences and by putting yourself out there. And that's something that I've always tried to keep in mind no matter what I'm doing. And I think that's helped me out a lot get to where I am today. That's all from me, guys. Thank you so much. You've been a great audience. Hey guys, my name is Aditya Pisharodi. If my story resonated with you, then please comment below and share your thoughts as well. And do subscribe to the Josh Talks page for more interesting and inspiring thoughts like this.